Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sarah's Corner. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the first time, you're most definitely welcome. We do great content here. We blog about lifestyle, motherhood, and just other interests of mine. You will love it here, so please do subscribe, press on the like button, and share the video. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to successfully breastfeed exclusively. I'm talking of how to achieve your goal. It could either be exclusive for 3 months, for 6 months, or for 1 year. Whatever your goal is, we'll be discussing how you would achieve that successfully, so stay good. Currently, I'm almost 5 months postpartum, 4.5 months postpartum, and I have not had a drop in my milk supply. My baby has been exclusively breastfed, and we're happily going on this journey. I'm talking of a painless process, a stress-free process, and one that you will actually enjoy and your baby will enjoy it. Added to all this goodness, you will also lose weight. Yes, you will. You don't need to gain weight because you're breastfeeding exclusively. As you can see, I've lost most of my baby weight. Most of it because a lot is still remaining here, but yeah, God help us. So before I had my baby, I never put pressure on myself in terms of wanting to either exclusively breastfeed or not. I was exclusively breastfed by my mom, but all my junior ones were not. So she tried exclusively breastfeeding for a couple of months, and a lot of times even my brothers were like, nah, I don't want this, move on, give me that formula, babes, let me move on. And we're all doing really well. There's actually no difference between myself and my junior ones. Me that was exclusively breastfed for almost a year, and they that took breast milk for less than 3 months. So I never put pressure on myself to say I must exclusively breastfeed. I went into the journey with a calm head. I had already bought formula before my baby was born because I read a lot of stories on how some women are not able to produce enough milk from the get-go and their babies still need to eat. So I was ready to literally whatever God gives to me, I'll take it. And when it started working, I just decided to go at it, and if I have the opportunity to give the best to my baby, which currently medically it's breast milk, but what is better than the best is a well-fed baby. So in as much as your baby is well-fed, whether on formula or on breast milk, they should just eat and be happy and be growing. Everyone will be happy. However, if you want to achieve exclusive breastfeeding, I'll tell you how. The very first thing that to me is an absolute essential is a breast pump. Yes, you heard me right, a breast pump. And I went with the Tummy TP one. So this is a double electric breast pump. I've now realized that I didn't even need a double. You can do it with a single breast pump, but I like that it's electric, because the manual one where you have to be pressing it by yourself, I'm not ready for that. I'm not going to spend money to still have to exert some form of pressure. So the pump, you literally affix it. So if you bring it out and you connect, this is what the actual motor or engine looks like. I'm calling it engine, lol. And you get to connect this to like the pumping part where the bottles are. We've currently sterilized mine, so I don't want to bring it out and get it dirty before the next one. But you can see this is what they look like. So you attach it here and you affix it to the boobs, obviously not with cloth, you take it off, you affix it there and you pump. So currently I don't even use the short bottle that you see here. I use the bigger Tummy TP bottle, and I use 2 of those at a time. I pump for about 20 minutes. That's when I have time. When I don't have time, I pump for 15 minutes and I do the 2 bottles. So how am I able to do that? I'll tell you. So the first thing is that breast milk works by demand and supply. We all have heard that. If you've done any sort of research on your breastfeeding, is that it's a demand and supply. So normally your baby may be able to, let's say, feed 10 to 12 times or 15, whatever number of times. However, your baby can never, as in I'm talking of a newborn, a small baby, 4 months, 6 months, they can never finish the bigger bottle, not this small bottle, the bigger bottle at once. And imagine when they are still newborns, they can't even finish this small bottle. A lot of them, they're taking like 20 ml, then 30, then 40 ml. So you can imagine how long it would take for them to consume more. So I'm talking of the demand here. If the demand of your baby is 10 ml each time you feed the baby. 10 ml, 10 ml, you will produce just about that or slightly more. But with the breast pump, because you keep it to the breast and you keep pumping, you're pumping longer, you're pumping more. So let's say each time you pump, you're pumping 40 ml. Instead of producing 10 or 15 ml, your breast will be producing 40 or 50 ml or 45 ml. If you're pumping 60 ml, that's how it keeps going. When I started, I wasn't pumping as much as I pump now. I will attach a picture of when I just started pumping. I was using this Tummy TP freezer bags. I've run out of this particular set. Yeah, this is what it looks like. And initially I was pumping about 4, which is 100 ml. Then I started pumping 6, then 8, then it got to a point where I was pumping 12. It got to a point where I'll pump this full sack and I'll still open another sack to pour. It will literally be filled up because you shouldn't go above here. It will literally be filled up. So I was using this as fast as you can imagine. So why did it grow to that level? It's because of the demand. Because I'm pumping. By pumping, you're literally asking your breast, I need more. Just like if you're feeding your baby says, I need more, I need more, I need more. So if at an early stage, I was already pumping like a full of that Ziploc, which is over, how many? Over 350 or so, my breast became used to the fact that they need to produce more and more milk. So that's how I started growing my milk supply. Obviously, I was pumping these quantities, but my baby can't feed these quantities, so you have to store them. That's why you see me having those freezer bags and the different options. So you would either freeze it or you keep it in a bottle and keep it in the fridge. You check for how long you need to keep it. I try not to keep my milk for more than 4 to 5 hours, but if you keep it in the fridge, honestly, it can stay throughout the day. If you keep it in the freezer, it can stay for up to a year. But you can do all your research, whatever works for you. I don't freeze it because light in Nigeria is not constant and I don't want it to freeze, defroze and freeze again. I won't give that to my baby. So I make sure whatever I pump, I give the baby, and then I'm sorry to say, I actually pour a lot of milk. I throw out milk because I don't want her to take milk that has stayed longer. And the reason I can do that is because I have a good milk supply. So before I've even thrown that one, she already has like 2 bottles waiting for her, so I throw it and continue pumping. Now this establishes to you how you would help grow your supply, but how do you maintain the supply? It all happens in your diet. The very first thing is water, fluid. Not all fluid are equal. Water is the king of fluid. So don't say because you need to take fluid you start drinking Fanta, Coke, Sprite, all these things. I'm not attacking the brands, I'm talking of fizzy drinks and all of that. You start taking all these things and you think it will help your milk supply. No, it won't. It won't. That doesn't help for any good nutrients for you. So what you need is water. Your number 1 fluid should be water. I take the 75 cl bottle of water, and for those bottles of water, I take about 4 to 5 bottles in a day. So in the morning, as I wake up, I'm drinking water. Throughout the night, there's always at least 2 bottles of water at my bedside. I'm drinking water. Naturally, I like drinking water. If you're someone that doesn't naturally like drinking water, you can do a couple of things to help you in terms of the flavor, but I don't advise you putting lime because lime also helps with cutting milk supply. So whatever things that you know that are good, or you can make a research that are good for milk supply and you can add it to your water to make you drink more, feel free to do that. But I would tell you that getting the water as it is best. If you're using a glass of water to drink water, you're actually going to drink less water. Why? Because the energy it takes for you to drink from the glass and all of that, you feel like, oh, you've poured out, you've taken. No, if you drink from the bottle direct, you're able to finish more. You can also buy a gallon for yourself. I usually feel like when I have a gallon, it already looks so big. So even when I drink just half of it, I feel like, oh my god, I've done so much. So I just take to my bottle of water. So you can either take the 75 cl bottle or the 1.5 liter bottle, and that's fine. So I take about 4 or 5 75 cl bottles daily, and that helps tremendously with my blood my breast milk. Why? Because breast milk is made in higher percentage of water. I think about 70% of it is water. So the more water you drink, the more milk you will have. Please, water is your friend. Drink water. The next one is pap. Yeah, if you're not from West Africa, you may not know what pap is. It's this cornmeal. I will attach it to it. So you literally make pap just like you make custard, and that thing it gives you milk like no tomorrow. Number one, because it's hot. Number two, there's something about the corn or millet that helps boost your milk supply. And what I used to do early on, in just after I gave birth to my baby, even when I was in the hospital, I would have pap in the morning and pap in the evening. So I was taking pap twice a day. When I came home, I was still taking pap twice a day. I was taking pap for so long that everybody was like, can you eat something else? Is it only pap you know? And I like pap normally. And actually, I don't even put milk in my pap. If you add milk, you even have more milk. But I don't actually put milk in my pap. I like it like that, just a little bit of sugar, and I'm good to go. But pap does wonders. So if your Nigerian mom, your African mom is giving you pap, don't feel like she's disturbing you. Please take it. It will really help you. If you don't like pap, you can take custard. It doesn't work as well as pap, but it works quite well as well. So whichever one you like most. What is important is that it's hot. You take it really warm, not hot, warm, hot. Like, you know how hot pap is. You just take it. It helps with both lactation, and even you sweat. It helps with weight loss. Doesn't have that many calories. Anyway, for me it really helped, because when I take pap in the morning, a lot of times I'll take only pap. I won't even eat plenty food or pap in my morning. A few times I'll try that, but a lot of times I'll take only pap. If I take pap and something in the morning, in the night I'll drink just pap and sleep. So it really helps as well with like your calorie count for you're trying to lose weight. Like I said, you can do this and also lose weight. So yeah, pap really helps. Another thing that helps is tea, what we call tea in Nigeria. Other people call this hot chocolate. So it's basically Milo and milk. So you take a warm cup of tea or a warm cup of hot chocolate, and that really helps with lactation. You can take that in the morning, you can take it in the afternoon, you can take it in the evening. You can even take it like your normal tea, maybe not green tea, but like I use a lot of fruit teas like raspberry teas and all of those ones, and I like it. I would take it in the afternoons. I can put a bit of milk in it. That really helps with breast milk. You can take it with honey, but with milk it gives you more. Another senior man in this milk supply is pepper soup. I am not a big meat eater, so I don't need plenty meat in my pepper soup for me to eat it. What is important is actual bouillon, that water, the water you're drinking, the hot pepper soup, the soup, that soup. So the hotness of it and the pepper in it really helps with lactation. I'm obviously not a lactation consultant. I didn't train for this, so I won't be able to give you the actual terminologies, but if you make your research, you will see it. I'm talking based on my experience, and it has really worked for me. If I take pepper soup, it'll be hard for me to sleep at night because I'll be so engorged. I'll keep pumping because my baby can't even finish all that quantity of milk. But I think this stems from the fact that I already have a good milk supply, so by taking it instead makes it more. So if you had an average to a bit lower milk supply, it would give you like adequate milk supply. So it really helps. I would advise you take the pepper soup. I didn't take it in the way that your African mom wants you to take it, in terms of they will pack plenty yam for you, pack plenty things, all the different protein, all that adds up to your calorie count. And the yam, the meat, all those things, they don't help with your milk supply. Don't be deceived. It's actually the hot broth I mean the soup, that's what helps you. So you need to drink more of that, eat less meat. If you feel like you can't take pepper soup without a side, you can take just one side of yam. Don't allow them to pack the whole food in the world for you. Take the pepper soup, leave out the carbs, and take the pepper soup. It will really help you. Another one is oats. Oats. I'm even scared of oats sometimes, because that thing gives you so much milk that if I take oats, I know that night I won't sleep. I'll just be pumping. But most people that maybe struggle a bit more, it will really help them, and they'll have more milk for their baby. So how to take the oats best? Hot, bit of milk, not that much like the milk has overcrowded the oats and the sugar and all that. You don't need sugar actually, or you just put small. But like what you need more is the oats in itself, a little bit of milk, tiny bit of sugar, and you'll be all right. don't eat something that you don't enjoy. If you like it with sugar, put your sugar, but the sugar is not what will give you the breast milk. And then you don't want your milk to be too sweet, because everything goes right into the milk. Everything you consume goes into your breast milk, so you be a bit careful on what you give your baby. But yeah, so yeah, oats. Now if we go closer to our roots in a more African way, one thing that they give a lot in my tribe and a lot of other tribes in Africa is palm wine. Palm wine. So palm wine gives you a whole lot of breast milk. You will see how, like, if you're Igbo or you're from the south, your Nigerian mom will come and visit you with palm wine. They will give you this palm wine. It's not, she doesn't want to get you drunk, but it's going to help you with your milk supply. In my place, women that don't necessarily have a good head for alcohol, I'm one of them, they will not give you palm wine, they will give you coconut water. You see that coconut water? In one of my recent vlogs, you would have seen that I drank coconut water and I was coming back from Ibadan. That night, the pumping I pumped. Coconut water gives you so much milk. All of these is not for you to have milk that your child cannot even take. No, you're trying to increase your milk supply. So what you do is that if you take this food, it will help with your milk supply. You express it, you freeze them, either using the Ziplocs, or you put them in the fridge with the normal bottle, and that will just help you throughout the day. So that, let's say if you've gone to work, your baby has enough milk at home. If you're busy or for whatever reason you have enough milk, and because you've pumped already and your baby is feeding on it, you keep pumping, so you realize that you have more feeds ahead of the baby. So that's just what helps, like, having enough milk, is that you have more milk ahead of what baby needs. Because there'll be times when your milk supply will drop. So for example, for me, one major thing that will make my milk supply drop is stress. If you're stressed out, let's say you've had a long day, you've been so busy, or whatever stresses you, if you're really stressed out, you will see that your milk supply will drop drastically, because you've already built up a stash. Like, your baby doesn't feel for it, and you know how to increase it back. So you just follow these things, and within 24 hours your milk supply will go back up. 24 to 48 hours, depending on how bad the stress affected you. 24 to 48 hours, it goes back up, and your baby has not felt like there's been a drop in their feeding, because you already had a stash ahead of it. So it's so helpful to not just increase your breast supply, but store it properly and help yourself maintain it or increase it when it. Personally, I've never tried a lot of these modern methods like the lactation cookies and the likes in terms of how it helps with your breast milk. I haven't tried it, but if you've tried it, let us know in the comment section down below. What I talk about in the video is just from my experience. I didn't do research to go and read, or what did other people do, what did this know. I just want to tell you what worked for me. So if you try this out, I'm sure of the results you'll be. Yeah, so once more, like I said, the more important is a well-fed baby. If your baby is taking quite well on formula, you don't need to stress yourself. You just keep taking good care of them. If you're producing milk to a certain level, you can do both the breast milk and still the formula. But if you're really willing to do exclusive breastfeeding and you want to increase your breast milk supply, you can try out all these tips I gave out, and I'm so sure, I'm so convinced that it will work for you. It has worked for me, it has worked for people I have advised, and people that have followed the same tips, and it really worked for them. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you tried it, how did it work, how did you feel, and then if you have other tips you want to give us, let us know in the comment section down below. Please remember to subscribe, like the video, and share it to your loved ones. See you in my next one. Bye.